Hey guys, I'm Layla. Today we're in Raid Shadow Legends. We're going to be checking out the lore story for Uzol of the Jade, a newer legendary dwarf champion that was added to Raid. Already, I really like his design. I mean, I like how they went with the moniker of the Jade because yeah, it looks like his axe, his battle axe here is literally made from maybe magical jade or something. And even everything he's wearing, like there's all kinds of gems on his helmet. Looks like we have around his neck as well as like his belt and some of the other weapons like daggers that we have here. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm hoping that they kind of liken to what this is. You know, especially with the dwarves, like we find a lot of times they're explorers, they're creators. So I'm really curious about how the lore story is going to incorporate this. So I haven't checked it out. Let's read it together. The Jade Mount is a canton of the Sky Iron Dominion. It is so named for its greatest peak, in which its precious, eponymous green gemstone is found in abundance, but nowhere else in the entire Cloudspire Mountains range. Its people are known for their warlike, paranoid, and dour demeanor, and of all the cantons, it is the least wealthy. This is all due to a single reason. The Jade Mount is a relatively narrow strip of territory that consists of the Cloudspire Mountains' entire boundary with the Stormwind Wastes. The Jade Mount dwarves' borders are constantly probed and harassed by shambling undead, murderous demon spawn, and cult of cleft raiders. Much of their already limited wealth is committed to the construction and maintenance of watchtowers on walls, and dwarves who might otherwise commit themselves to trader industry instead spend years of their lives on garrison duty. Before most reach middle age, they have witnessed terrible horrors, whether that be the creatures of the wastes or the torments and gruesome deaths such monsters inflict upon their comrades. Every Jade Mount dwarf is well aware of the sacrifices their people make to keep the rest of the Dominion safe. Though other cantons provide some weapons and warriors to aid them, to the Jade Mounts, it is never enough. Given the threats posed to the canton, weakness is intolerable to its people. It means death. To lead them, one must be strong beyond all doubt. That required strength is not just a physicality, it is ruthlessness, emotionless, mercilessness, the ability to sacrifice what must be sacrificed for survival. It is a strength King Uzol proved he possessed in quantities unsettling to other canton kings. Being the eldest child of the monarch does not entitle one to kingship in the Jade Mount. Royal blood merely gives one the opportunity to compete for it. Uzol was the youngest of 7 brothers. When their father, the king, died, all wished the crown for themselves. All had spent many years in the towers and knew their way around an axe. Uzol killed every last one of the ritual funerary duels that decided the new monarch. The 7 brothers were noted for each carrying a different gem besides the ubiquitous jade that made up Jade Mount royal raiment, such as a ruby, sapphire, or diamond. Uzol crushed each one after killing the brother who carried it, proclaiming that the only gem he cared for or needed was the jade. He was declared king, the witnesses to his victory simultaneously stamping one foot on the stone floor twice to give their assent. Uzol had barely spent a full week at a time in his royal keep, instead spending the bulk of his reign upon the battlements of his border walls or striking further afield. He is unusually aggressive even for a Jade Mount dwarf, and has led multiple purge throngs into the Stormwind Waste to sweep the land free of undead and agents of darkness. Though it has come at such a great cost in lives, even his stone-hearted people have no love for him for it. The Jade Mount has suffered fewer assaults in his reign than it did in the time of any other monarch. While few can doubt Uzol's resolve and ferocity in battle, nor his fighting skill, even his closest advisors and commanders keep a distance from him whenever they can. He rages with streams of the most foul language should he lose the most trivial game, and endlessly gloats in the faces of those he defeats, pressing his forehead against theirs. Anger is his default emotion, and he is quick to unleash it upon even the undeserving if they cross his path at the wrong time. None would dare to challenge him for the throne for that reason alone, but also none can deny that for all his unpleasantness, he is a warrior king. The people are safe while he rules. It is thus likely that, unless he is killed in battle, Uzol will bear his regal artifacts for many years to come. Around his neck, He wears the nephrite chain, its heavy links and large octagonal stones, reminding the monarch of the burden of kingship. Securing Uzol's belt is the clasp of the charging ram, a symbol of the aggression with which the ruler of the Jade Mount must defend their people. At his waist, he carries the razor-sharp Viridian blades, two swords that could pierce the toughest armor, each carved from a single piece of jade. Uzol's armor and helm complete the mountain panoply, the fine metal of both clad with a single layer of solidified molten jade. Finally, his weapon of office is the jade axe, which has been the royal family's possession for generations. It was made and blessed by the Jade Mount's rune keepers and geomancers to be harder than diamond and nigh unbreakable. With it, Uzol could, in his own words, cut Sirot's shadow in half from head to crotch. Wow, that was a pretty interesting story, guys. I'd love to know what you think of this. So Uzol is a king. We get that. He's a king of the Jade Mount, right? And I like that they did talk about his look and how symbolic his armor on top of the weapon is. But basically it says that he basically murdered his whole family, right? He murdered all of his brothers to get to the kingship and to hold the position that he has of power. So that was definitely a story I did not expect. Drop some comments down below, guys. Let me know what you think for the lore story of Uzol of the Jade. And thanks for watching.